I'm here with Amber Hollibaugh. She's an organizer and an activist with 40 years experience in the civil rights and LGBTQ movements. She's also an author, the author of My Dangerous Desires, an award-winning memoir and collection of political writings. Amber, welcome. A lot of people would look around today and say, you have powerful LGBT organizations, you have the end of Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the military, you have gay marriage in New York and many other states. The New Yorker has 2 women getting married on the cover. Isn't there a lot to be proud of?
There is. Being respectful of the extraordinary work that's happened in the last 35 years is not the same thing as it reflecting my values. I'm not sorry that we can now enter the military, and I'm not sorry we can marry. But frankly, I come from a moment in time and a radical vision in time that never made marriage or the military my criteria of success. I didn't want us to have wars, I didn't want us to have armies, and I did not want to register my relationship with the state. So, are those victories? They are. Were they discriminatory? Yes, they were. Were they my idea of what it was that we were trying to build as a liberation movement for queer people? No, it wasn't at all. Do we now fight for the kind of passionate belief that I have about sexuality, about the importance of the erotic, of people actually getting to fulfill desire, not be punished because they have it? No, we're nowhere near close to that. We're dealing with an AIDS epidemic that continues out of control globally and in this country. No, this is not the movement that I am fighting to create. Has it succeeded in places that are very significant? Yeah, it has, and it would be foolish to say that those things don't matter. Is it different to come out now than it was to come out 35 years ago? Sometimes.
Why is it important, because you raise it a lot, why is it important to defend a person's right to be sexual, to have their sexual life, to have privacy? A lot of people would say, if you've got a place in the shelter, you're doing great. It's not up to me to make sure you can make love with someone in it.
Right. I think that the power of a political vision is deeply engaged with the possibility of how you can live out the liberation that you seek. And part of that vision is very much about desire, is about the erotic. I didn't come out to pay a really painful price often to be LGBT and then not claim my sexuality at the same time. It's not all right with me to not talk about it so I don't make anybody nervous. I'm a high-femme lesbian who loves butch women. That erotic identity has an enormous amount to do with how I live my life, who I live my life with, and what it is we can or can't do.
But you said that the power of our political organizations and our ability to obtain our political goals is related to the possibility of erotic realization.
Absolutely. No political movement can avoid the reality of desire in its midst. Every office building is full of the illicit affairs, the unwanted pregnancies, the crises that happen in human lives. For a political movement to not understand that sexuality is a profound component of both how people are oppressed and how people dream is to not recognize the reality of political power and where it's centered. If I'm fighting for the possibility of having a kind of desire and possibility that right now is not too likely, it gives me a different kind of engagement with the future than if I say, oh, well, sex doesn't matter, it's private. Well, sex may be private in the way that you make love, but it's not private in the context of the world we live in.